Spyro. What you doing, bud? What? He went to a breeder.
Are we gonna get him back?
Possibly later. Spyro.
Can I hold one of the Leos?
Tail's doing a lot better.
Can I hold one of the Leos?
Reasons why you should daily drive a Challenger. Just wanted to kind of do something a little different. I know I've had POV done in the past, and I've had some other videos where I've shown lots of driving and stuff like that, but this one I kind of wanted to show you what it's like, just, you know, being in the front seat and things you'll hear, and you know, the reasons why you should be driving this car every day, and why it's a good daily driver at that too. It's, you know, for a lot of people it doesn't seem like it would be, but it's a pretty good daily vehicle, so we're gonna go over that. Alright, so right off the bat, you know, let's get into some of the things that make this vehicle so practical. Let's start with transmission in this vehicle. The 8-speed is what I have in mind. And it's very, very smooth, very quick shifting. You know, you don't get a lot of rumbling or feedback or anything like that. It does very well, making the vehicle seem more effortless to drive. This is probably one of the smoothest transmissions I have driven with. You know, very seamless and easy to drive. With the transmission, it makes it seem and drive just like a regular vehicle. You know, you would not be the wiser, you know, just getting in it and, you know, just driving it every day like a normal car. The vehicle has lots of things that, you know, it does for you. This type of vehicle also comes equipped, some of them do, with blind spot monitoring, and in a big vehicle like this, that's a really great feature to have. It definitely helps. You know, you've got all those sensors working for you. You know, the vehicle does a lot of the work for you. It makes it very, very easy for you to drive. And the sensors bring up a really good point. You know, that'll kind of go into what I'm going to touch on next, with it being very user-friendly. You know, having the sensors on the side, you know, you do get, you know, alerted if anybody's in your blind spots. And with a big car like this that doesn't have a lot of visibility, now, I've had Mustang GTs. I've had a couple different ones from first gen. I've had second gen, all the way up to the newest Mustang, and then I also had 16 2SS Camaro. Now the Camaro by far is the worst for blind spots, 100%. And the Mustang is a little bit better, but it's just as bad. This car doesn't have very many blind spots. I will say that the C and D pillars, with how big they are, they do cause that to be your worst area for vision. Other than that, with the monitors being on the sides, you know, you do have that peace of mind just knowing that it's available for you if you need it. The Uconnect system in here is also very user-friendly, very easy. You've got, you know, brightly colored pictures that tell you everything that you need to do, what it does. It goes over, you know, if you're trying to do the air conditioning, you know, if you're trying to change the radio or anything like that. It's very, very user-friendly. It handles and takes away a lot of the doubt, so it makes it very easy for you. And, you know, it makes the car very comfortable as well. You know, you've got a great steering wheel in the car as well, and very comfortable seats. I've driven, like I said before, a lot of different muscle cars, and this one, I can drive this car for a long time. We've driven it all over, and the car, you never get out of it feeling fatigued or, you know, feeling super tired or like you just got hit by a bus. You always feel just as good getting out of it as you did getting into it. The seats are air conditioned, and you know, they're ventilated and heated, so that makes them that much more comfortable. The suede trim that's on mine is definitely a plus in my book. It definitely makes it that much more comfortable. They're very bolstered and very, very just nice on your back. The Mustang that I had, I had a 2015 5.0, and that car just did not have comfortable seats at all. I absolutely hate the seats that come in 5.0s. I absolutely hate them. I think that they suck, and they are not comfortable at all. The car's also got a great sound system. The Harman Kardon sound system in here is fantastic, probably one of the best on the market, at least in my opinion. It's better than the Beats system, and I guess everybody has their own taste, but just in my opinion, I think the Harman Kardon is definitely a lot better. You've got plenty of room in the back. I have, as you guys have seen before, I have car seats in the back of mine. I have 3 little ones that I stick back there. Actually, I have my 10-year-old that fits back there just fine, and then I've got my 1-year-old that sits in her car seat, and then my 3-year-old that sits in his, and they have no issue getting in and out whatsoever. I had littles in my Camaro and my Mustang. The Mustang wasn't as bad, but the Camaro was the smallest of the bunch, and the Camaro definitely had the hardest time getting them in. However, I was able to do it at the time, but it had to be done in a way that was different. Still safe, of course, but you know, just set up differently for right around $50,000. That's crazy that this car would do all of that for that price. The car's it even has an auto, you know, dimming rearview mirror. Now I've heard the comments about it being a boat, and you know, all these other comments about, oh, it handles so bad. And let me tell you, like I said, I've come from a Mustang and a few Mustangs and my 2SS. Now going into this, you know, it didn't really feel too different. A couple days and you get used to it, but you know, there's not that much body roll at all, and it handles very well for it being a you know, a bigger car, of course. It's very, very well composed for a big car. The transmission, you know, between the transmission, the handling the way it does, and the suspension handling as well as it does, you know, it really is a pretty good daily driver. Very practical. You've got a lot of room in the trunk. My Camaro, even the Camaro has a big trunk though, but I mean, the Challenger is the biggest coupe of all 3, and you know, it definitely, with the retro styling even, it has that, you know, a very nice big trunk as well, so it works out for practicality. You can take luggage with you, and you know, you can even stuff some kids in there if you need to. Not that I would do that, but you definitely could if you needed to. Now, these cars also have the traction control on them, and so it makes them very practical in all kinds of weather. Now, granted, I'm not at all saying that this car is going to do better than an all-wheel drive in ice conditions. What I will say is that this car does handle very well in wet and, you know, cold conditions. It'll keep you on the road. I'm in Arizona, so it's hot most of the time. I can get away with a summer tire pretty much all year. And, you know, on those rare occasions where we get our monsoon season, or, you know, we have, you know, the really, really cold days or anything like that, it definitely, you know, can help with that. It definitely helps being rear-wheel drive, too, and having all that power. It definitely disperses the power the way it needs to, when need be. Don't be intimidated by this car at all. One thing that I would keep in mind, with the SRT trim on any of the Challengers, they do sit lower. It doesn't seem like it, but they do. They've also got different splitters on the front end that come that way from the factory, so, you know, always keep a lookout for steep inclines and different curbs, because you will scrape, you will hear it. That's just the way the game goes sometimes. now again, I daily drive mine. I use mine for everything. We take the family out, we go grocery shopping. My wife has our Town and Country, the mom van, and you know, if I can get away taking this out, I will do it every time, because it does everything. We are able to get groceries. We are able to go and buy, you know, medium-sized furniture. And what I mean by that is stuff that comes in boxes that we build. You know, we can take all the kids with us. We can go have some fun going to Phoenix or anything like that. You know, it's practical for all those reasons. It has, you know, this huge 8-inch touchscreen that has the big backup camera on it. It also has those rear sensors in the back. So again, those C and D pillars being in your vision and your, you know, being in your line of sight aren't an issue, because it shows on the camera. It'll alert you when someone's coming. So you have that cross path detection available to keep you safe while you're maneuvering the vehicle. And you know, to kind of wrap that up, the car is amazingly fun. Like I said, we take it everywhere, and it's great all over. You don't have to really worry about much. The car does so much for you anymore that, you know, it's so automated that you don't have to stress about, you know, oh, I'm in a more powerful car, or I'm in a bigger car, or anything like that. The car does so much for you to make you more content and happy with driving the vehicle, that you don't have to necessarily worry as much anymore. And you know, that makes the car that much more enjoyable. So the last thing I want to touch on is the gas mileage. Now, gas being what it is today, you know, I won't get super political at all. There are certain people where they shouldn't be making decisions that are making everybody's life worse. If you know who it is, comment below. And you know, the gas prices are astronomical right now. I just had a friend pay almost $10 a gallon in Los Angeles. And one of the comments that I saw was, and on that post, one of the comments that I saw was, oh, high roller. And it's so stupid to me, because no, they're not a high roller. That is what they are forced to do to survive right now. And so, you know, on average in this car, even if I look now, like if I look right now, my average mile per gallon that I'm getting right now is about 16.8. Now, you know, I drive my car. I enjoy my car. I get on it when I can, and but you know, I do the speed limit. You know, get on it all the way to 65. And but I mean, if you do drive the car nicely, and you keep it in eco mode or whatever you're gonna do, you know, the car will actually get pretty decent gas mileage. And that's another thing I'll touch on too, is the eco mode in this car. You can turn that on, and I've done it, you know, when we couldn't even really get gas, you know, recently, because of a few different changes in our life. And you know, the eco mode made the gas last as long as I needed it to. And as long as you drive it respectfully, you can make it last. You can make it work for you, and it does help. Now, I wouldn't recommend running it all the time. I definitely wouldn't do that. It's not good for the car, in my opinion, but it does help if you're that worried about it, you know. But at the end of the day, if you're buying this type of vehicle with that kind of power and, you know, things like that, you're not buying it for gas mileage. And if you go to any dealership and you go to look at a Scat Pack, an SRT 392, Hellcat, anything like that, if you go to look at any of those and your concern is gas mileage, it is not the car for you. These are heavy cars with, you know, big motors and a lot of power, and that's what they are. That's why people buy them. You know, they are an enthusiast car for sure. you guys enjoyed that video, thanks again for tuning in today, and give it a big thumbs up, and if you guys liked what you saw, please subscribe. You guys didn't think I was going to leave you without telling you what was going on, right? The surprise coming to the channel. I've been a little vague with it. I've posted a couple things here and there on Instagram and Twitter and such. Here's the second hint. I don't think that I have enough horses in the stable. Have a good night, guys.